Hello and welcome to the Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast. My name is Tony fucking G, your multi-time RWP prediction champion. Unfortunately, the belt is not with me because it's still, unfortunately, strapped across the shoulder of the COVID Christmas Miracle Champion Chicken. And we have a chance to redeem that this Saturday at WWE Elimination Chamber. But that's not what this is about. I've been perusing social media today, and holy shit, some big news. I'm currently at work right now, as you can tell, and speaking of work, Cody Rhodes is leaving AEW. Speculation of a WWE return. I'm sorry. I'm just going to get this out of the way right now. Why are people buying this? I'm glad to see K-Fab still alive and well in some form, but you're being worked. He's not leaving AEW. It's not going to happen. I've got a little bit of information here from sportsnot.com. Possibility of Cody Rhodes leaving AEW and making a return to the WWE seems to be as strong as ever after CEO Tony Khan says goodbye to his executive VP on Tuesday morning. Been public knowledge for quite some time that Cody has been competing for the promotion without a contract. Original 3-year deal he signed ended at the end of 2021. He's been doing the Go Big Show judging, I guess. He's been appearing on Dynamite without a contract. He's basically been working with no deal in place. Nothing on paper. He's just kind of working as a free agent, technically speaking. This guy founded this company. Like, the entire basis of AEW is based off of the premise of Cody Rhodes taking a Twitter bet with fucking Dave Meltzer. He's an executive vice president. He believes all of his own hype, even if he shouldn't. He's not going anywhere. This continues. Recent comments during interviews or promos inside the ring, Rhodes has never given a hint that his future wrestling home would be anywhere but AEW. However, during a recent edition of the Wrestling Observer Radio, veteran reporter Dave Meltzer suggested things may have changed when it comes to Rhodes returning to AEW, and his former employer, the WWE, could be in play for his services. He's still not signed with AEW, and originally he hadn't signed. It just seemed to be like one of those things, but now here we are. We're in mid-February. The contract was up at the end of December, maybe January, Meltzer explained. But yes, a lot of talk about Cody Rhodes. Probably best said that before I would say there was a minimal possibility that he was going to sign with AEW, but I would not say that now. I think a lot of people think that it is up in the air of what is going to happen next, says Meltzer. He says a bunch of more stuff that it doesn't matter. It's Dave Meltzer. On Monday morning, the situation took a major turn when Twitter released a penned letter by CEO Tony Khan. Promotion general manager, head of creative, and overlord thanked Rhodes and his wife Brandi, who serves as the chief Brandi officer, for their contributions to the promotion, and also wanted to wish them both the best as they move on from AEW. Cody and Brandi were integral to the launch of AEW. Cody's ability, combined with his boldness and his passion for our industry and his love of our community outreach, helped AEW deliver on our mission to give fans what they needed for far too long. Something new, innovative, and lasting, Khan wrote. Brandi helped us shape the AEW story, and I appreciate how hard she fought for both of us in the ring and out of it, competing in the women's division while advancing our effort. I can't believe he's actually saying this with a straight face, if he is. Inclusion in civic causes, including great partnerships with Culture City and the American Heart Association. So, yeah, this is all lovely. This is all very nicely worded, it sounds great. And people are buying it. People are buying this. They've got everybody in on this. Meltzer's in on it. He's reporting on it. Fucking Dustin, Cody's brother, is tweeting out, I'm going to miss you, bro. I'm going to miss you. You've always been there since this launched, but I'm going to miss you. It's a work. This is a work. Why would Cody Rhodes, why would Cody and Brandi leave a very, very lucrative, cushy thing they've got going with AEW to go back to the WWE? Can anybody give me one good reason why they would do that? I understand Cody's frustrations with the crowd not playing along in his anti-hero role. He thinks I've said this from the start of AEW. Go back and look. He believes too much of his own hype. He gets way too... He thinks outside interference is way too integral in all of his matches. He overbooks everything, including himself. Just whenever he has an idea, he gets about 5 more, and he tries to push them all into one match. It's too busy. It's too much. Sometimes less is more, especially with a Cody Rhodes match. And triple that if Brandi's going to get involved. I'm to the point where I don't want to see Cody a lot, because I know it's going to be overbooked. I know it's going to be self-serving, and I know it's going to be a good match, but it could be better with a lot less. That's where I'm at with Cody Rhodes as a wrestler. And I think a lot of people finally came around to my line of thinking with Cody Rhodes. They just didn't take the same path that I took to get there, because I saw through the bullshit from the get-go. Now he's not beloved, and it drives him nuts. So this is a ploy. That's what this is. He is working the fans into thinking he's going to go back. This could be a legitimate heel turn for him. If he's got any shred of integrity or ingenious left in that supposed professional wrestling-based brain, this is a work to come back, put himself back in the world title picture, become a heel, a real heel, not an anti-heel, and really elevate his stature in the company. With Omega on the shelf, this is kind of the time to be doing it, but we'll see how long this plays out. Obviously, he could be working with a contract right now, and nobody fucking knows. If anything, he's going to go work a program in Japan, maybe a match or so, and then he'll come back. He's not going to go to the WWE. I don't see it. And I don't think that they could get any details hammered out where he did a one-off appearance for, like, WrestleMania and then went right back to AEW. I just don't know. I mean, with WWE opening the door to Impact, that's not the same thing as making a one-time appearance deal with Cody in Executive VP in AEW. Not even close to the same thing. So, could it happen? Sure. But Cody's going to be back in AEW. If he has a stint in Japan, and if by some grace of the wrestling gods, he can work out a deal to do a one-off appearance for a WrestleMania program and then go back to AEW, a real true heel now who went back to Vince, like, that would be some major fucking heat. But by the end of 2022, make no mistake, Cody Rhodes is and always will be all elite. Unless something completely unforeseen happens, this is not the end of Cody in AEW. That I can promise you. Take this with, more than just a grain of salt, because I'm pretty damn sure I'm spot on here. You're being worked, okay? He's not going to WWE. If he does, it's going to be a short-term WrestleMania season thing, and he'll be back in AEW. I still don't see that. Don't take that to the bank. Take to the bank, Cody Rhodes is still all elite. And speaking of the WWE, real quick, a lot of speculation about Stone Cold Steve Austin, of all people, having a match at WrestleMania. Can't believe I'm actually saying that in 2022. After a 17-year hiatus, he could potentially be having a match with Kevin Owens. And this speculation happens every year, but this is in Texas, so of course the speculation gets ramped up a little bit. And of course it's Kevin Owens, because Kevin Owens uses the stunner. At one time I would have just frothed at the mouth for this. I don't know what kind of in-ring shape Steve is in at this point. He looks incredible for his age. Kevin Owens, WWE has really, really, really dropped the ball with him, as they have with everybody not named Brock or Roman or Charlotte. And I don't know. I'm not sold on this idea. They'd have to make a pretty big deal of it, and they don't make a big deal out of anything. Not in the way they should. They miss most of the big opportunities to book things bigger than they could be. Like, the old ways of booking in WWE are completely gone. At one time, this would have been massive. But it'll just be another match in the card if it happens now. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to mark out like crazy, because of course I am. But it's a little lackluster. It's a little disappointing. And if you're going to get Stone Cold Steve Austin back in the fucking ring, and you still got Bill Goldberg working matches in 2022, and your product is as bland and as boring and as lackluster and unimpressive, and there's legitimate competition out there in AEW, and you have the opportunity to do Bill Goldberg versus Stone Cold Steve Austin, and you don't fucking do it, holy Christ. Ugh. But again, the same people who believe that Shane McMahon was going to pop up on fucking Dynamite are the ones that are believing Cody Rhodes is done with AEW. It is what it is, folks. I'll be right here to say I told you so in the end. This Saturday, Elimination Chamber. Show starts at like 10 a.m. The pre-show. It's in Jeddah, I believe, Saudi Arabia. I'm not stoked about this. Pretty big card. It'll be probably a 4-hour show. Probably won't be a bad show, but it's gonna tinker with some weekend plans. I've got some stuff going on, so the reviews might be a little janky. We'll get something out for you, I promise. We'll do our coverage. We'll do some predictions. I'm hoping to knock those out on Friday. We'll do some sort of coverage, and we'll see who the new RWP champ is after the show, some point on Saturday. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to everything Revolutionary Wrestling Podcast and anything Big Buckin' Entertainment-wise. If you want to check out any of our other shows, Linktree/Big Buckin' for all your Big Buckin' needs. Phil KOE, the KOE Nation, the Dog and Chicken Show, me and Chicken, and usually Phil. Plenty of content there. Spotify links, YouTube, Facebook, all the socials. Make sure to be there, but be here Saturday for Elimination Chamber. I'm Tony fucking G, and thank you for watching.